I'll just start with Ethereum here, and it's still building itself to the upside. So we can put a little wave 1 here and a little wave 2 in here, and we'll be looking at 3, 4 and 5 there. We can lift these up here further. Obviously, whoops daisy, obviously Ethereum at 2000 will be a bit sticky, especially in 2001, 2 and 3 here within group 1, but it should still continue to push higher. Now on the 12th, which is tomorrow, they're changing over the Ethereum, so there'll be a bit of probably a bit of volatility in the changeover to the new chain at that point. So but anyway, that's Ethereum, and we're looking at a bullish picture here to the upside. And Bitcoin, we can look at, this is a weekly chart for Bitcoin, and we're looking up as 1 and 2 here from the 17 19 pattern, 1 2 3 4 5 here, and I'm looking at this as an A and a B and a C wave down here for wave 2 to come into play here. Now the thing is here, this can be counted as 5 waves here, so that means that the bearish move would be having a B wave to the 61.8%, which is roughly the 50,000, this level here, and this would become over here for this. It's something that we need to be aware of. So an A wave, a B wave and a C wave, but apart from that, we can still look higher. And while Ethereum is at the 2000, we'll see this market here be weaving itself across the 30,000. You can see that it's, I just call these are major trading levels in orange, but you can obviously see that it's got history here, so it should repeat that history in that space. We're going to look at this. So in a bit of a nutshell, as I mentioned, we can move to the 61.8%. And there's a couple of different ways to count. I mean, this is all pretty straightforward from here to here. That's all pretty straightforward. There's a couple of different ways to count this in here. And what I normally find is that as we get more price action pattern to come into play, we can kind of decipher which is the correct one. But it doesn't really matter in this particular case because they're all pretty much the same. So that's the weekly chart. This is a daily chart. This is pretty much the predominant sort of count at the moment. So if we were looking at from wave A here, I've got it as wave A in this degree, which is fine, an A and a B wave here. Then we would be looking at this here as the A wave here, the B wave here, and then 1 2 3 4 5 up here to the 50,000, which would be the 61.8%. That would make sense in a particular in this structure as 1 and 2 3 4 5. So that would be that as an A wave to a B wave and then a C wave back down here. That's possible because we can see that some of the stocks on the Nasdaq can be sort of much the same, but it does have a nice bullish bias to it. So, and I don't want to spoil the party because, you know, we've just hit 30,000 and people's accounts would start being back in the green, I would imagine. So that's a very happy time for folks. Now, yeah, this particular little move up here, I can see that it can be counted in different ways. So we're just going to run through those different ways. And in the end, when we come when we go into the 1000 ticks, we'll be looking at back here as 1 and 2, and then we'll work through here and we'll look at this. Now, also what I normally find as well is that normally when you come to a level, there will be some sort of dance across it, but when there's been an accumulation process before the level, then it doesn't necessarily need to spend a lot of time here because it's gone through, because a correction is the accumulation process. There's more to it than that, and the trend is the distribution process. But we can see here that this has been an accumulation process through here, so we're in the distribution process. So it doesn't need to spend a lot of time in that particular space there. This is good here because we've got new highs above the previous highs here, but we're still low here, so that's good. There's still room to move to the upside there. So moving into the intraday, and on the bullish side, the 20,000 tick here. So this is this is probably the right way to count it, but I always like to try to think outside the box and look at other ways as well. But I always find as the market moves along, then it becomes clear what's what. So from this point here as wave 1 and 2 here, then we'll be looking at 1 and 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, 4th, 5th for the third, and so on. But we need this to stretch up further. We actually need this third wave here. We need this third wave to really to play out, a lot further, actually, to get us up to that 50k mark, But anyway, we'll work through that. So this is how it's sort of counted here. So we're in the third of the third of the third, and we'll just cruise in 10 and 5. I've got 2 different counts in here than this, but I think it's okay to look at. So this is a slightly different one where it's got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to this point, and then 1 and 2 to here and 1 and 2 to here. So it's very similar. It's just slightly a little bit different, and it's not really going to change a lot. It's really just for me, and I just, I like to sort of be pretty open and share my thoughts. So yeah, so this is a possibility. And then we'll go to the 5k tick. So we're sort of heading in here a little bit further. This is another one. This is a little bit sort of offbeat, this one. So this is wave 1 here and 2 here, and then so normally with the blue one in the minute degree would normally have this up here for that. So I've got it sitting here, and this gives me wave 1 and 2 to here, and still a 1 and 2 to here as well, and then the other little 1 and 2 into here, and then a 1 and 2 into here, and this is probably a 1 and 2 in here. So slightly different way to look at it. It's not going to do any harm, looking at it. It's okay to throw stuff at it, but I just like to leave them on the table and then eliminate them one by one, so to speak. So yeah, how long will we spend here? Like I said, the accumulation process here that's it's like a spring in its own way. You could probably, I'm sure there's folks that be looking at this in triangle patterns and so on, but the Elliott wave is a little bit more sophisticated than basic patterns. So yeah, you could do that. You could go an A and a B and a C and a D and an E here. The wave structure doesn't really account for that, the internal wave structure to a point, but anyway, it's diminishing into a point, and bingo, the bullet is fired, so to speak. So into 1,000 ticks here, and this will be coming back into the original count that we've been looking at. Okay, so yeah, 1 and 2 to here, and then we're looking at this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here. Bit sort of jammed up in there, but everything is accountable, so it's okay, and then 1 and 2 to here, and same story, here as 1 to here, an A and a B and a C to here, so 5 waves down in this point here. And then we're looking at this little move here, so 1 and 2 here. I'm just assuming this is 1 and 2 here. It could be a little 3 and 4, but we'll just see how that plays out. And then we've got this move here that, everybody's in at the moment, and it's really everything's got to do with this particular number here. So we're likely to see some sort of dance here before we'll see a couple here. I'm sure there'll be a few things going on here, but basically pushing to the upside in that trend, because it's the momentum is still there with that. So that's it really. So all looking good, and everybody is happy, and a little Bitcoin is showing its magic, and all is well in crypto land. So thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.